All right, roll the camera. This is a TV show.
It's a TV show.
I want to be an inventor when I grow up.
Ben was diagnosed with autism when he was 22 months old. Ever since then, we've been running full steam.
Certain kids with autism have some unusual strengths and talents which shouldn't be ignored, but there's no question that autism creates a great deal of distress and disability.
Not all kids with autism are interchangeable. They're all unique. They're all different. But in many ways, they all share a common set of struggles.
Jacob is a big, smart, happy guy. He's 18. He is nonverbal.
It's only through studying the kind of the causes of these problems will we begin to be able to develop effective treatments.
There are times that you feel like the world is over here and you're sitting outside of it.
So many things that you have to juggle and figure out, and you're constantly worried about your child.
You have to have patience, definitely have patience, and understanding with them.
There are struggles and there are joys, and you know, I couldn't imagine life without him. You know, he's a great kid.
The goal of the center is to clarify, understand as much as we can all of the different aspects of autism and autistic spectrum disorders so as to develop both a better scientific understanding but also more effective treatments.
The goal always is to help children. And in the long run, the way we're going to help children is to understand that the processes, the developmental, the neurodevelopmental, the genetic, and the environmental sources of influence that are affecting these kids.
This is an opportunity for families to contribute to science that will really make a difference. I truly believe that the research that's going on right now will begin to unravel the mysteries. We will begin to know what some of the causes of autism spectrum disorders are, and we'll be able to institute preventive mechanisms.
We are bringing different fields together. We have geneticists, neurobiologists, clinicians, epidemiologists, and center gives us opportunity to work together.
Because now we have the ability then for clinicians to help the scientists come up with the right questions and the scientists to help us understand the mechanisms, if you will.
Great things happen when people from different disciplines come together to address a problem. They spark each other's enthusiasm, they force each other to think outside the box, to think in different ways.
We already have amazing talent here that has come together through this center. We will be attracting more talent, but we have experts in a variety of different areas, probably more expertise in certain areas than any other center in the world.
The genetic component is clearly very, very complex. So it constitutes multiple genes that have to interact together and very likely interact with the environment in order to express the autism phenotype.
So you want to look at genetics. Maybe genetics will give you an answer. You want to look at the, neuropsychology of the kids. You want to look at behavior. You want to look at imaging, fMRI, DTI. This center covers it all.
So the genetics part is only one component of this, but it really integrates with almost all of the other components.
We use MRI to try to understand the parts of the brain that are involved in the problems that kids with autism have day to day.
There are systems in the cortex of the brain which function abnormally in a way that relates to the very profound observed communication and language disorders that the children with autism have. So we are able to look inside the brain and say why these problems are emerging in real life.
What we're very excited about now is integrating imaging with treatment to do brain imaging before and after an intervention to try to understand How does the brain change when the behavior changes?
Well, we're really interested in studying these infant siblings of children with autism because they are much more likely to go on to develop autism than the general population. I think knowing early signs, the earlier the better. I think that'll be really terrific, and to be able to check in over the long haul and develop a relationship with people who really can know him is going to be great. The great thing about the center is that we can follow these individuals right from when they're very tiny all the way through to their young adults, so we can follow their development very closely.
First and foremost, they can expect to find people who care about them and are interested in them and in what's going on with them and their child.
They know the state of the art in terms of what's going on, and you can have opportunities for people to look at your child, give you a perspective on your child, get feedback, get information on services, get networked in ways that could be extraordinarily difficult on your own.
Families take away a really elegant report that details their strengths and weaknesses and evaluations that probably aren't even available in the clinical realm.
So how do we use this to help them work with the school to develop an individualized education plan? How do they work with their medical professionals to develop a treatment plan?
When you come to participate, your emotional needs, your intellectual needs, your need to be part of the bigger community are going to be met.
We take for granted the fact that in our backyard is the best hospital for kids in the world, and Jacob has the best medical care that he could get for his disability. So, you know, I've often said to Ella, if I were a millionaire, I'd give them the money.
It's my vision, and collectively it's our vision, that we're going to be the very best center in the world for autism research.
We have some brilliant individuals across disciplines who are coming together to think about how to study this disorder, how to prevent it, and how to treat it.
We do the kind of interdisciplinary research that's really cutting edge and is very challenging to get funded from traditional sources.
We need the support of everyone. We need of the federal government when we write our grants, of foundations, but also individual donors. It's really important because without that multifaceted funding source, we can't do our work.
We will be successful if we continue, because we have found regions in the genomes that are altered. Now we just need to understand what they do in order to intervene at the right place.
Resources that are given to the Center for Autism Research have the potential not only to make great scientific discoveries, but also to be really applied in the very short term to address pressing real-world problems of people with autism.
There are so many people with expertise that their hearts are into it as well as their minds.
I can't cure autism. We're searching for the cure, and CAR is doing everything they can, tremendous amounts of resources. But I can care for you now. I can take care of you, and that's what I offer in the moment.
The more we understand about the spectrum, the more we realize how many people it touches, the more we learn about the brain, the better able we will be to design interventions that help.
We want to help all people, and everyone has to do their part. And if each family would come in and help us with the research process, in the long run, we really will be able to develop the effective interventions, a deeper understanding of the mechanisms, and one day, I really hope a cure.